Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So it's 2019 and we are starting off the year with some controversy. M. Night Shyamalan's latest film, Glass, which for those who don't know, is the third chapter in the trilogy from The Unbreakable. We had Split a couple years ago, and now we got Glass to conclude the series. This has been something for a lot of people that, after seeing Unbreakable about 20 years ago, they've been waiting for a follow-up to that film, which we got, a couple years ago we got Split, and it had that ending where we saw Bruce Willis's character, show up. Got a lot of people excited because no one was expecting that. So needless to say, there was a lot of hype behind this film, and as you probably have seen for yourselves, a lot of audiences I feel have been divided with this film. And for myself, it was a little surprising actually seeing, I looked on Rotten Tomatoes just because I'm curious, I don't always necessarily go by those ratings, but always just interested to see what they have for the ratings on there. And last I saw, I think it was at like 33%, which is surprising and isn't, throughout M. Night Shyamalan's career. He's had his fair share of, big hits, but he's also missed quite a few times as well. So definitely not a person who's, not used to controversy and, making films that, some people like, some people hate. So I was really looking forward to this film. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't like a huge fan of Split. I thought it was a good, good overall movie, a great performance by James McAvoy, but by no means was it something that I was like blown away by. And honestly, thought it might have been just like a little bit overrated. But I was really looking forward to this film. The trailers I saw, really had me intrigued. And so, yeah, I was pretty excited. It was on my honorable mentions. So pretty much, this film, the plot of this film is you have the three characters, Bruce Willis, the overseer. You have Mr. Glass, played by Samuel L. Jackson. And then you have the Beast, or the Horde, played by James McAvoy. And these three characters, for most of the movie, are in a mental hospital, and the psychiatrist is trying to basically prove to them that they don't have these superhuman abilities and that it's all in their head. So that's a bulk of where this movie takes place, and so it's a very self-contained film, and I feel like that might be one of the things that a lot of people are going into this movie, and I don't know if it's necessarily like the marketing or not, the trailers, maybe, or just the fact that it's the third movie in a trilogy, and they kind of like made that a big deal as well. So I don't know if that's kind of people going in with expectations, and where it's the end of a trilogy, maybe expecting something that was just like much more bigger on a grander scale. And for the most part, like I said, it takes place in like this mental hospital for quite a bit of the film, and so it's definitely more of like a self-contained film. But that's something that I really liked about the film. You pretty much get, it's almost divided kind of into three parts. So you kind of get Bruce Willis's character, David. He has like kind of his own part that focuses on him a little bit. You have Mr. Glass. He has his own part, and then James McAvoy. He has his own part in the film as well. So it's really more of a character-driven film in my eyes, and I think that's, like I said, I think that's one of the things that's causing some divide with audiences. They're expecting a little bit more action, and there is some action in here, but definitely not to the level of like a Marvel or like DC film. So go into this, what I'm saying is just go into this film with kind of an open mind and not necessarily expecting some of that stuff, and I think you might enjoy this film for what it is. Now, as far as the directing, I thought M. Night Shyamalan did a great job. I really liked the opening sequence, the beginning of the movie. Really enjoyed that, and for the most part, I think he did a great job directing the film. The only thing that I will say about the directing is that, and I've seen some other people mention it as well, is that throughout some of the fight sequences, there are point of view shots, and it almost looks like a GoPro, and it's really kind of it's really distracting. I didn't really care for that, those kind of shots. So whenever that happened, it was a little like but other than that, for the most part, I thought he did a great job. The score, I thought, was also done really well. That was something that I wasn't expecting for, this film. And that was actually done by Wes Dillon Thordson. So great job to him for, providing the overall, music and atmosphere. Really added to the film for me. Now, as far as performances go, you had Bruce Willis, returning as David. And I thought, he did a pretty solid job. We got to kind of catch up on his character, see where he's been at for, the past like 20 years, as well as we get to see, Samuel L. Jackson reprise his role as Mr. Glass. And I really found his character interesting, in this film. It takes a little while for him to really kind of jump into the action, but when he does, I thought it was really captivating. And as far as, standout for me, which I know a lot of people who loved Split, James McAvoy, once again, he absolutely kills it in my eyes as the Beast or the Horde. And specifically, one scene early on in the film, they're in like the mental institution, and without going into too much spoilers, you just get to see him switch from about like 12 different personalities in the matter of like seconds. So really showcasing his acting ability, and he's definitely one of the highlights of this film. Definitely making I feel like just going to this movie just to see him, if anything, making it worth it alone. The ending is something that I've seen a lot of people are really, this is what has really divided audiences. So I've seen, quite a few people enjoyed like, most of the film, but then the ending, they're like, nope, that completely ruined it for me. And I can definitely see that. I can definitely see why people would be upset about the ending. Now for me, for myself, I thought it was fine. And it wasn't something that I didn't completely like ruin the rest of the film for me. It wasn't anything like, amazing, but I thought it was a fine ending. And for what M. Night Shyamalan was going, I thought it fit, but I could definitely see if you're one of those people that, disagree with that. And hey, it's an opinion, we all have one. So, but it's definitely going to be something that, as you can see, it's causing quite a stir with audiences. And I'm not really surprised with that. Now, as far as, do you need to see Unbreakable and Split to really enjoy this film? I would say it's probably recommended, but not completely necessary. My girlfriend went with me, and she has not seen either one of the first two films, and she was able to, pretty much follow along, and actually she really enjoyed this film as well. So I would say it's definitely recommended. You can pick out, different little pieces that you wouldn't be able to if you haven't seen those films, but I think that you could still enjoy this movie without seeing those as well. So not necessarily to see Unbreakable and Split, but definitely if you get the chance, I would say go ahead and do that. Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. Great performances, I thought, from, mostly everybody involved. M. Night Shyamalan, I thought, for the most part, again, did a good job directing, minus the, the weird point of view shots. Score was good. And, it was more of like a thriller, psychological, and a self-contained film that was really more of like a slow burn as well. And that's something that, I definitely like my slow burn movies for the most part, but I know they're not for everybody. So some people aren't going to enjoy this film just because it might take a little bit too long to get to certain things. So, but I really enjoyed it. I actually, I can't wait to possibly go see this again, and when it's coming out on Blu-ray, I'm definitely going to pick it up. And as far as an overall score, I'm actually going to give this film a 9 out of 10. I would highly recommend it, but I would just say, again, going into this film, have an open mind and don't expect something like a Marvel or DC movie. This is almost like the complete opposite, which is why I think I might have really enjoyed this film too, because with so many superhero movies out right now, just having something a little bit different was quite, refreshing to see. So if you guys have seen Split, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. No spoilers, please. Even though the film is out this weekend, definitely give people the chance to go see it for themselves. But let me know what you thought. Did you hate the ending? Did you love it? Overall, what did you think of the movie? And make sure, if you are brand new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as hit the thumbs up. Really helps me out, guys. And I will see you soon. Make sure you check back more for more Pop Culture with Pat.